Hey YouTube, Scott from Hoarderside here with another unboxing video. A little different one this time though. Going to unbox a new camera. Something I got in to replace this camera, which is what I've been using for my overhead shots and my artwork shots on my makeshift easel. So let me tear into this. Hopefully it has everything it needs and I can hook it up real quick and do a side-by-side comparison. If nothing else, because it'll save me less post-editing. But if not, I should have everything I need here in the shop. Alright, so brown box, not quite what I was expecting. But as you know, with most things coming from China, HuddleCam HD. Suppose maybe I ought to keep everything in case I want to send it back. Comes with remote, works upside down and right side up. Alright, so we've got a USB cable. Silica gel packs. Do not eat, by the way. And we have our monstrous HuddleCam. And the big reason I needed this is for the HDMI output. And that's a standard HDMI cable, which they did not include. So I will have to go grab it. And oh, look at that. It'll kind of stand on its own. Somewhat. So I can experiment on a couple of side-by-side shots. So, instead of making you listen to some god-awful music, or stare at nothingness for a couple minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get this hooked up, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I've got my two primary cameras hooked up, plus a new camera. I'm on the Sony ZV now, which I've got angled a little differently so we can illustrate a few things. And these cameras are basically, they're within a foot of one another, 6 inches of one another here on the table. So this is the ZV1, and this is the camera I normally use for my overhead shots and for doing the artwork. And now this is the new HuddleCam. As you can tell, much wider angle. And quality, it's, you know, at 1080p they're all the same. This definitely has some neat features that I've found out. I've just played with it for a little bit. But if we go back to the primary camera, you can vaguely see these, you can see this book fine, you can see this book fine, and you can see a little piece of this book. When I go to what I usually use for the overhead, again, you can see more of this book, and this is just because of the angle. Part of this one's cut off, but you can see it. It's not bad as far as the angle goes. I can back out one level of zoom to see a little more, or manually zoom in. But that I've got to physically reach over to the camera to do that. Now when I switch over to this one, I hope I didn't just move it. This has electronic PTZ on it. So I can zoom in and pan around inside of the zoomed image. Go back to the normal point of view. Do a fast zoom. And I can put preset levels of zoom and PTZ. So I can just hit a button on the remote and jump straight to a particular point. So it definitely has some benefits. I can see some uses for that over top of the other two, but I don't know. I'm gonna play with it some more, see what all features it has. HDMI output, which I'm running through now through the mixer, works fine. I did just realize after 6 weeks or however the hell long I've had this thing that it is not a 4K mixer. It's only a 1080p mixer, and the 4K mixer was about $3,000, which is probably why I didn't get it. But it does have 4K output and 4K capability, which I may experiment with later, doing a direct stream and not going through the mixer. See how it does on the USB side. But I definitely